Hi, everybody. We're going to call to order the retirement board meeting for Thursday, June 11th. It's 11:04. Our first matter is to identify a quorum. This is Mike Pipe. I'm here in my home in Boalsburg.
Mark Higgins here at
Steve
Mahoma State
Dersham.
College.
Steve Dersham, I'm here.
Jason Moser, home in Bellefonte.
Okay. We do have a quorum, and we do have Margaret Gray, our administrator, joining us, and we may be having our treasurer, Colleen Kennedy, join us, and also our director of financial management, Tom Martin, as well. But we'll proceed at this time with a motion to approve the minutes from June 4th.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from June 4th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, moved by our controller, seconded by Commissioner Dersham. Any final discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Oh, please, yes, go ahead, Jason. Yes.
Sorry, I did just want to note while it's not specifically detailed by the amount in the minutes, at the last meeting, I said that through the point of the last meeting, we had paid $393,000 or so in fees to our investment managers for the retirement fund this year. That number was incorrect due to, I'm going to blame it on myself because it was my problem, but it is actually $213,700. An extra six had snuck into one of the numbers as I was typing it in. So it's $213,700.68, not $393.
Okay, thank you for that correction, Jason. But the minutes would still reflect the inaccurate number, and we would be correcting it today.
It's not, the number itself isn't in the minutes, so I just wanted to make sure that we had that corrected at least moving forward. So.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay. We have no correspondence, but we do have our old business, which is from Public Financial Management Retirement Fee Fund Study. And we did have an email from Jason with a follow-up with Commissioner Higgins' recommendation about getting some more details about what they would be producing for us or examples. It looks like Jason sent that out yesterday afternoon. So Jason, if you wanted to jump into that.
Sure. So hopefully everybody had a chance to at least open it. It's a fairly extensive. It's a PowerPoint presentation now. Mark Amatoro with PFM had some issues sending it as a PDF, so I do apologize that it says it is a PowerPoint instead of PDF. But it is based on some very limited actual data from the county that kind of came out from Mark and I talking with Margaret, and then so it's very limited actual data of ours. But this is basically you'll see on all the slides where there's red writing, it says pending actual review or whatever it says, pending completion of analysis. That, but they have all the topics and conversations that they'll be talking about in there. But you'll see it's a pretty extensive deep dive into the retirement fund, even on limited knowledge. What he's kind of just thrown together since our meeting last Thursday really is. I think we'd be looking at a fairly robust report coming from PFM on our retirement fund. Now, the last, I think it's 10 or so slides are really their sales pitch for handling passive management. I forget, they have a different term for it in here, but passive management at some point. So that last 10 or so slides is really their sales pitch for it. But they do go through definitions of what passive management is further down into that presentation. And another part of the conversation is if we were to go with PFM on this, if we were to approve the fee, if they were to complete this study, I have put in their brains to be presenting on this fairly soon, within the next month or so. So potentially as soon as our June 25th meeting, but they're prepared that we're going to be looking for a fairly quick response, assuming that they have enough time to complete the actual study with data.
Colleen here. I'm sorry for being late.
Hey, Colleen. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to, if you wanted any specific detail. Obviously, this is very limited information, so really what's on the page is what I'd be able to speak to, but I'm happy to answer any other questions regarding PFM, et cetera.
So this, Jason, really is what Mark was asking for was, I'll let Mark speak to that. But what this is this looks like it's almost what ours will be, and they've actually already filled in some initial information.
Correct. Yep. And
Yeah.
That's limited data just because they know who our three investment managers are, and they knew what our from talking with Mark, we had talked about what our fee percentages were, and so they knew that, and some additional public data and everything as well. So this is ultimately, at the end of the day, if they were to do this, this is what our report would be with all the additional slides filled in with the rest of our data and their analysis of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Mark. It was great to see the detail. It looks like we're going to get quite a bit of value for our money, and also interesting to see that their recommendation is now about 65% stocks or stocks equivalent and 35% fixed income, change from a traditional 60-40.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some interesting already data in this, and that's not even looking, like I said, really deep into what our personal retirement fund already. But some of those recommendations near the end of the report are certainly different than what we've seen in the past, I think.
Yeah.
I gave it a perusal and found it to be very helpful already at this point in terms of, it's a lot of really good data, and so I'm really excited about what their full report would give, and then in addition, them being able to take some time and walk us through and really look at some of the nitty gritty of this. I think it would be tremendously helpful at this point. So I'm excited they already put this all together, and would still be supportive of them doing the full study. But yeah, any other feedback, comments on the report, or I guess you could say the draft analysis at this point?
It looks incredibly thorough.
Yes,
A lot
it
of
does.
data in there.
Okay. Hearing no further questions on that, we did have on the agenda an action to approve the payment for $10,000 out of the retirement fund that would go towards this study. Is anybody interested in making a motion at that?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by our treasurer, seconded by Commissioner Dersham. Any other discussion, comments, questions on this?
Not for me.
Okay.
No.
And then in terms of a timeline on when they would be giving this back, Jason, do we have an appreciation for when that would be?
So they are prepared to present this to us as early as our June 25th meeting. Mark feels confident that if we approve the fee that they would be able to attend that meeting. I told them that certainly if they felt on approval that they would need additional time, we would be understanding of that given the short window and what we're asking them to do. But he still feels confident that they would be able to turn it around and present this information at June 25th.
Okay, that's good news. 2 weeks from today. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Any other questions, comments on this? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Hearing none, the motion is carried. Jason, thanks for all your work on this. Margaret, thanks again for making the connection. We really appreciate it. I look forward to the conference. We have no other old business, no new business. Is there anything else to come before the retirement board before we look to adjourn?
I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
I'm going to call Mark Motion Misek.
All right,
Okay.
whatever.
Sounds good. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.